I'm Seyka, For Goodness Seyks, reporting for Jane Unchained in Taipei, Taiwan, planting the vegan flag around the world. Tonight, we're at Mianto, a completely vegan, international cuisine restaurant, and we're exploring their phenomenal menu. You can come in and get a set menu in their new location, and you can reach out to them to find out all the goodness that they have on their menu. Right now, we're starting off with the Mianto salad that has some drizzled balsamic dressing on it, some capers, olives, microgreens, cucumber, and tomato. Did I say tomato already? They also have carrot. We also have each day they have a new soup, a different soup that's on their menu, and today it's a corn soup. The corn soup is warm, sweet, and corny. We also have a little bit of their Merlot wine, and this is a wine called Free, and it is a completely vegan and alcohol-free wine, and that's what they serve here. I'll show you in a little bit some of the main courses that we ordered. They're pretty unique. This is one of their signature dishes that you can't find many other places because it's a traditional South African dish. It's called bunny chow, and it's got a whole grain, multi-grain flax bread filled with a rich curry that has a delicious, creamy, garlicky scent to it. It doesn't traditionally come with garlic in it when it's served at Mianto because many of the people of Taipei Taiwan and Taipei stay away from onion and garlic. However, the chef did add some garlic in there for us because we're garlic monsters. The other dish we have is a very special mushroom pasta dish. The owner drives over 2 hours away to find these special mushrooms that can't be found anywhere else. They're a special type of shiitake mushroom dish, and it comes in this creamy pasta. I'm here at Mianto, and I'm with the owner, Michelle. We just had a spectacular dinner, and it included a dish called bunny chow, which I hear is a traditional South African dish. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Actually, it is South African. It was originally a vegan dish.
Wow.
So that's why it's called bunny chow. It's like a joke on vegans, like rabbit food.
Yeah.
And then actually I had a South African customer that came to me, and he said, well, I really like your food, but you don't have anything South African. And I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. And he was like, why don't you do bunny chow? And I was like, oh yeah, why don't I?
Yeah.
And then I started a bunny chow. And now he and all his friends and everybody that comes to Taiwan to visit him all became my customers and just come here straight and eat bunny chows. So yeah, it's quite a popular dish. We make the bread ourselves, and then it's got pretty rich curry. So it's quite popular.
So delicious, and I mean it tastes nutritious but bursting with flavor. Really fun. I think it's a dish that should be everywhere. Really great. and you're South African, is that right?
I'm South African.
When did you come to Taipei?
I came here about 8 years ago.
Okay.
I came here many years ago. I won't say how many. Just for a year to enjoy and travel and do all the stuff that young people do. And then I was traveling around a lot. And then in 2010, I quite had enough of just like living around everywhere and having a suitcase only. And then I just decided I want to choose a place, and I thought about it, and I just felt that I always liked Taiwan the most. Just if you think about a place where you want to live longer, you think of a lot of things. And I just found Taiwan is pretty convenient, it's very safe, and people are very friendly, very nice. And it's not just to me or to you because you're a foreigner, they're friendly to each other as well. And after you live here and you can speak the language, you notice that. Like people will talk to each other, and I found that very rare. Like it's a huge city, but it's so small town in a way, because the neighbors all know each other. In this whole like street, everybody knows each other, and they would be like, oh, and when people come to the restaurant, they'll just start talking to people next door to them. Like, do you know them? And sometimes they do, because it's a neighbor, sometimes they don't. They're just making a new friend.
Yeah.
And I think that's lovely.
Yeah.
I love that. You can literally go onto the street and just talk to anybody.
Right.
And they're fine with that. They do that to me too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we found the same thing since we've been here. Incredibly friendly people. We've made friends in unlikely places.
Yeah.
And, you know, people are just so caring and seem to go out of their way to help us out with things.
They would. If you walk down the street and you look like a foreigner, I mean, people come from everywhere to assist you.
Yeah.
And if you need directions, they'll direct you. If they have time, they will take you.
Yes, that's what we found.
It's
People
great.
walk us places and show. We're like, we don't mean to take up your time. And they're like, it's okay.
It's
you know?
okay.
It's so sweet.
It's very sweet.
Yeah,
I
so
love that.
What had you create a vegan restaurant?
Well, actually, what happened was first I just did a little bit of cake and stuff for people. I always cooked for people. And then people were like, oh, you should open a restaurant. I was like, oh, maybe one day. And then I started baking for restaurants, baking, and they were like, oh, we want more, we want this. And then when people started seeing me, they're like, oh, where's your restaurant? We had your cake, we had your bread. I was like, oh, I don't have one.
Yeah.
And then eventually it just came to a point where I just had a little restaurant. Then it became bigger and bigger. And because I was sharing it with a friend of mine, and it was going to be half of the space was my restaurant, half was his design company. But then later I just asked him to move and move and move, and then just move out. But you know, he was very friendly about it because he's vegan as well.
Yeah.
So he was just like, oh no, it's okay. You know, I can just move to that corner and that corner, because he was very happy that, you know, people liked the vegan food and we could promote veganism in that way.
Yeah. What had you go vegan?
Well, actually, the first time I came to Taiwan, I had no idea about vegan or anything.
Yeah.
And at that time, I met somebody in Taiwan, and she was my boss actually, and she was Buddhist, and she asked me a very simple question, and I never thought about it. Like most people don't. People don't think about this. She said to me, "Why do you eat animals?" And I was just like, what do you mean? Like, it's what we do, you know, like we eat it, you know. I didn't. And she's like, but do you like dogs? Do you love dogs? And I said, yes. And she said, so would you eat a dog? I said, of course not. And she's like, how's that different? They still have feelings, they still feel pain, they still die, they suffer. And I had no idea. And I was really like, just taken aback by the whole thing, like most people are, because you hear something that you don't want to hear.
Right.
You hear you're part of something that you don't want to be part of. But she had me thinking about the whole thing, and she spoke to me a lot. And she was like, you know, because she's very religious, she said, if God wanted you to eat chicken, you know, a chicken leg, then it would just grow on a tree and you could just pluck it. Like, why does the chicken have to be raised and be treated cruelly and then just die? If God is love, then I don't think that's what God wants. And she was this very, like, she spoke a lot of common sense, but very loving and caring. And because of that, it just completely changed my mind. And then I became vegetarian. And after being vegetarian for 2 years, I met somebody in America in a coffee shop. I was just drinking, it was a vegetarian restaurant, they had vegetarian and vegan, and I was just drinking my cappuccino or latte, whatever. And then the lady was like, are you vegetarian? I was like, yeah, I'm vegetarian. And she said, why? I said, I love animals, so, you know, I don't want to eat them. And she said, but don't you know that milk is like liquid meat and the cows are impregnated all the time and they live in these small cages and then they take the babies away and they kill them? And I was just like, no, I did not know that. And she's like, you should research, you know, and she's like, you can think about it, where does all the milk come from? Like, it comes from a cow. I was like, I did not really think about that. And I just put it down and I called the waitress and I said, do you have anything else like that could replace the cow's milk? And she said, yeah, we have soy milk. I said, okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
And then that was the vegan start. You know, it's just information.
Right.
And you just have to process the information. And I think you just don't, a lot of people feel extremely bad and extremely guilty when they hear this. It's normal. But don't get stuck on that and realize it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Because it's what society taught us. Like,
Right.
you do this, you eat that. Don't feel so bad. Just, okay, this is the situation, this is what I've done, and I can change right now. I can do this right now. And if you cannot become vegan right now completely, then at least become a vegetarian first, or eat as much as you can and get used to it, and then just change. Because I found a lot of people feel so bad.
Yeah.
And then they feel
Right.
so bad they don't do anything.
Right. They feel so much pain, so much. They see the videos and go, this
Yeah.
hurts too much. I can't watch
Yeah,
this. I
yeah.
can't be part of this. And then shut off their awareness to that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you and I were just bonding over our rescue dogs, which is so sweet. And we have our pets. And we understand their feelings and their needs, and they have wants, and they have dislikes, and they have
Yeah, yeah.
likes.
Yeah.
And then you start to realize that this creature is so similar to these other creatures that are
Yeah,
part
yeah.
of the animal industry that are treated in horrific ways. So thank you for such a touching, you communicated that so effectively and in such a loving way, and I think that really helps it be accessible to more people, and I really honor that. So I'm gonna watch this video a number more times because I wanna have those words written in my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Wonderful food, beautiful message, and it's a treat to know you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Last but certainly not least, it's dessert. We've got a tiramisu and a decadent chocolate cake. Looks like it slid onto our plate. I'm gonna give this a little bite here. Oh my goodness. It's fluffy and light, but rich with cream and flavor. It's so delicious. And it makes sense now, understanding that the owner originally came from a baking background, of baking cakes and goodies like that in a vegan way and sharing them with people, because this is phenomenal. Tiramisu, and I'm not as much of a tiramisu expert as I am a chocolate expert, but I'll do my best to describe it. So it's really pretty the way it's designed in here with the different layers. It's got little light graham cakey bits with some cream and sprinkled chocolate on top. The flavors all mixed together. It's, again, light and fluffy and really, really good. Thanks for joining me for this vegan feast. And don't forget to follow on Instagram at For Goodness Seyks and at For Goodness Seyks_foodie, and to connect with me on Facebook at For Goodness Seyks, to follow along this vegan voyage of 21 countries, connecting the vegan community, trying incredible vegan food,